Well, all right. Hello, hello. Welcome to another Monday afternoon. It is 2:02 p.m. here on the Pacific side of the country. And so we are here. I have been doing a, a lot of clerical work today, writing scripts and sending emails and some catch-up stuff around the house as well, cleaning up a drain. I'm going to be mowing the yard later on. We were gone at CamasCon, Spring CamasCon 2024, from Thursday night until Sunday afternoon. So that's everybody was away from the house except for one person most of the weekend. So there's stuff to catch up on Monday. So basically, that's how that's been going. Matthew Vincent is here. Hello, hello. Hola, he says. Good to see you, Matthew. Thank you for being here. We did have a pretty fun time at CamasCon. There was a lot going on over the weekend. Lots of games played, and we'll talk about some of those games that got played over the weekend. And it probably won't be universal as far as I don't think I remember every single game that I played, but there's quite a few here that I did play, and some of these were even played multiple times. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Then we'll talk about what's going on in the week here, coming up here in a little bit, in just a few days. Nuno is here. Hello, hello. Good to see you, Nuno. Thank you for being here, buddy. This morning, JT posted. JT posted it last night. I put a thumbnail on it and made it go live this morning. His first look video of Earth Abundance. So it's a new expansion that's coming out later on this year for Earth from Inside Up Games. He had the chance to play test it when he was at the ATOM event, the Atom event earlier this month, and they let him take home a copy of it so that he could play it again and give kind of a first look video of it. So that's what that is. He's got another video coming out on Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., I believe, that is going to be doing, he's going to be giving an update for his crowdfunding fulfillments that were supposed to have come in by now. And so he's going to talk about those on Wednesday morning. So he's got that coming up, and so you can look forward to that. Liberation Game Design is here. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Curious to hear how the weekend was. Well, that is good. Hello from Belgium. Jan Stutelings says, or Jan, maybe, is how that might be pronounced. Ali Guru is here. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Tom is here. Hello. Only around for about an hour. All right. Well, thank you for being here anyway. Hob, the Lord bless you, Sam, draw you near. Thank you. I appreciate that. Very much so. Let's see here. I think that's about it for that. One of the games that I went into CamasCon with, well, first of all, let me give you a general idea of what CamasCon is. CamasCon is held up at Camas Meadows Bible Camp. That is up in, it's just before you start going over Blewett Pass, and just north of us, in between us and Leavenworth. So if you go up the highway, you can cut off and go Blewett Pass, or you can continue up going towards Leavenworth to go over Highway 2 Stevens Pass. Well, if you cut left, you're going to start heading up to Blewett Pass, but just before you start going over Blewett Pass, there's a Camas Creek Road, and you can cut up Camas Creek Road, and it drives you up into the mountains, up into the forest, and there's a whole camp up there, cabins, lodges, putt-putt golf courses, paintball fields, you name it. They have a water slide during the summer and sledding hills during the winter, and it is just a really neat. I almost want to say the word campus, but it's not really that. Camp is the best way for it. If you've ever been to a youth camp, that's really what you're going up to. You're going up to a youth camp. And so he's got the main lodge set up to where the main floor area is just gaming tables, and he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think 6 foot rounds tables, and then they basically can sit 8 people around each one. And then he had, I think, 2 or 3 other 6-foot tables that were rectangles where you could play games at those as well. And generally, I don't know how many people were actually there for CamasCon. I would venture to guess there were about 30 to 40 people there. I would venture about 30 to 40. So it's more like kind of a board game retreat type of event, that rather than an actual like convention. Daryl Wilkes, the guy who runs the place, and his wife Kristen, they asked me to come up and be the speaker. So there's basically 3 times throughout the weekend where we had just like a little chapel session, and he asked me to speak at those 3 different sessions. So that's why we went up there, and we took the whole family. Daphne was the only one that didn't really stay for the entire weekend. She had prom this weekend, and so she had to come back Friday. She went up there with us on Thursday, though, and played some games and played most of the day Friday. But then I had to bring Aiden back for his football practice on Friday night. So Daphne came back in and just stayed in town with her. She has her own car, and she stayed in town and took care of business as far as that's concerned. We came back into town Saturday afternoon for Aiden's football game, but then we went back out. So except for Aiden's practice and Aiden's football game, we were there all weekend long until about 2:30 Sunday afternoon. And we just got to play a bunch of games. I think Jess said she played 16 different games this weekend, and she may have played more games than I did. I played some of the games that I played were a little bit longer, but it was still a time where we got a lot of games played. Vanessa's here. Hello. Good to see you, Vanessa. Thank you for being here. Duno is saying he's working and listening. Was there a particular topic you spoke on? You don't have to share. Basically, I just gave my testimony. That's what I did. And then the verses associated with those, with my testimony, mainly being Psalm 51, Mark 10, 2 Corinthians, and then several chapters in 2 Corinthians. That's what I mainly spoke about. And so that was, it was just generally about how the Lord's worked in my life. From at certain spots, I divided up into basically three parts, and focused on a certain thing in each part, and that's pretty much where we went with that. But I hope I was a blessing. I think I was, from what Daryl has told me and what other people at the convention or the retreat told me. So, just from talking with them. So it was a blessing to be there, and I very much appreciated the opportunity from Daryl, and hopefully we'll be able to do it again sometime. Thank you for the answer. Isn't Psalm 51 beautiful? It absolutely is. Absolutely is. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. That's one of my life verses. So that is pretty cool. But so that's the general setting. You basically have, they feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day that you're up there. And the kitchen staff did an amazing job. I mean, I ate a lot of food that I haven't eaten in a long time because I'm not supposed to, but it was so good. I just kind of cheated all weekend as far as my food is concerned, and they did a great job. I mean, they did grilled Philly steak sandwiches one night. They did chicken burritos one time. They did Just so much stuff that I shouldn't have been eating, but just regular old burgers one night. But they had a whole lot of toppings, bacon and cheese and all, man, it was just, the food was amazing. And the breakfasts were really good. We had biscuits and gravy on Saturday. We had pancakes and what are they called? Hash browns. Another day we had breakfast burritos. Another morning, just really great food. Really great food. The kitchen staff did an amazing job. Daryl has really done well training them. Most of them are not adults. They are people who work there, but they are teenagers for the most part that are doing different things. I think they're led by adults, but a lot of the staff were teenagers that are just working there and earning a part-time living, basically. And so it was really good. It was really good. So we would have those times throughout the day. Friday and Saturday night were 2 chapel sessions right after dinner, basically, and then Sunday morning was another chapel session right after breakfast. But the rest of the time, by and large, was just open gaming. You could play. They had a couple of people that were doing a couple of D&D sessions type stuff. There was a Battlestar Galactica game that was going on somewhere on the campus at one point. They kind of went to a different place because I think they did a huge game of it. So they went somewhere else, and I don't know exactly where they went. So that was pretty cool, but it was basically just a really chill time. A really chill time, just playing games and enjoying people's company and having a great time. So that was it. Did I miss much? No, Bushman, you didn't. You're making me really hungry. Yeah, I know. I was going to say the same thing. Crispy hash browns. What's better? That's right. Loaded hash browns. That's what's better. I would agree with that. But hash browns has so many carbs. I have to stay away from carbs more often than not. I super broke the rules this weekend though, but I'll have to get back to it. I'm doing better today, but that was it. All right. So I went to Spring CamasCon I wanted to get a certain number of games played and certain games played. And I got all but one of those games played but I was ready to play it, but it just didn't really ever hit the table. But I did get a 4-player game of Last Light done. So that was a pretty cool opportunity to teach 4 people who had not played the game before this game. And that was kind of I wanted to make sure I got this played because JT and I are about to record a review of Last Light. So I wanted to make sure I got a good solid play-in where I was the one teaching the game so that I could be prepared for that review. And we really had a great time with that game. Everybody that was at the table very much enjoyed themselves. And it went for about an hour and a half, and they were all very amazed that they had just played a 4X game in an hour and a half. So this was a great time. Really enjoyed this game. Roy did a fantastic job designing it. This little game came in a couple of days before we left, and I am super enamored with this game. This is a very fun game. It's tile placement. And then so you have these little donut tiles that you're going to be laying out on the display case. And then you also have order cards that you're trying to fulfill. And you have boxes, which are just different size squares, that you're going to be using to fulfill your orders in your card. And when you fulfill an order, you cover up those donuts and nobody else can use them. And so you're placing donuts out and then you're covering them up using these different size boxes to represent orders. And you can have coffee go out with your orders, which gives you more money. But it's all designed around 1930s, 1940s era donut shops. So the prices for the donuts are like 20 cents for 4 and 60 cents for 8, I think. And it's just a very cool retro design, but it's so fun. We had such a great time playing this game. I led 2 games of it, and I saw it being played another time as well. So I think this got played 3 or 4 times during the course of the weekend. And everybody that I talked to that played it said they really enjoyed it. And a couple of them actually were saying that they were going to go out and purchase a copy on 25thcentury.com. So this is a really fun game. We'll be talking about this later on as well. We'll probably do a live playthrough, and we'll probably also do a live review of this very soon. This was a hit for the weekend. So that's Donut Shop from 25th Century Games. I gained 15 pounds just watching this. Now, I did a live stream of this on Thursday of me doing the solo mode, and actually I heard back from Marcel Kohler, the designer. He actually went and watched the stream and said that I did pretty well, but there were some things that, not that I did wrong, but that if I would have done those things, I probably would have done a little bit better. One of the things that he said that if I had remembered to use those, if you were watching that, there were some tiles that come along with using that second resistance group. If I would have used those tiles, I would have done a lot better. But I forgot to use them. That was the one really big mistake that I made during that stream. But he said, by and large, the rest of the stream was really, really good. So I appreciate him watching and providing that feedback for me. But we played a 5-player game of Dutch Resistance Orange Shall Overcome, and we got defeated. We just played the intro scenario where you have to go around and get all of the different things and start the resistance. And it was the same scenario that I played, but we played it on normal. I played it on easy for the stream. Then we played it on normal, but we used the easy side of the player boards, and we lost. We got about halfway there. And, some of the things just really hit hard in the game. And, but it was still a very fun experience. I think everybody that played the game enjoyed themselves, but it did go kind of long because it was a teaching game, and there are some, it was the first time that I had taught the game. So it did go a little bit long, but I think everybody that was at the table really enjoyed the experience, and I did too. I'm anxious to try some of the other scenarios in the game to see how they play and see how it goes. But I really do enjoy this game, and I know Liberation Game Design is here. They said, Grace, nice to hear you managed to play with 5 people. Yes, it is co-op. It is everybody helping together, because you're all members of the Resistance and you're all working against the occupiers that are there. And it's just a really interesting design, and I'm really looking forward to trying out some of the other scenarios. But this will be reviewed in the near future. Not really soon, because I do want to get more plays of it in. I want to get more experience with it. But so far, so good is basically where we're at here. So kudos to Marcel Kohler and Liberation Game Design for a really cool design. Well done. Let's see here. 5 players is in general a bit longer. I'm working on a version of each scenario that is half as long. That's probably a cool idea. I don't know if it's absolutely necessary. I definitely don't want to give that impression that I thought it was just too long for what it was. It just was long because first time teaching the game, I was teaching 4 new people how to play, and there was a lot of rules looking up to make sure that I was telling them correctly and that kind of stuff. So I would say it was more my fault that it went so long when we did play. Still, like I said, even with it going as long as it did, nobody did not enjoy themselves. So I'll put it that way. A local designer from Spokane was at was at CamasCon, and his name was Jack Dunbar, and he has his own company, New Kingdom Gaming, and he has, first of all, this is one that he has ready to go right now. It's produced, it's available, you can purchase it at different places, and it's called New Kingdom Gardeners. And I got to play this with him and Jess. Jess and I played this with him, and we really had a great time playing New Kingdom Gardeners. He has another game that's going to Kickstarter. This is the prototype of it, called New Kingdom Sowers. And this is basically just a 1 to 2 player card game where you're trying to get your black seeds in order from 1 to 10 played out onto the table in ascending order. And you have a deck that has 10 black seeds and 10 yellow seeds in it. And so basically what you're trying to do using the mechanisms of the game is you're trying to weed out the yellow seeds and get those black seeds played down in order from 1 to 10 before your opponent does. And if you, a number of things can make you lose the game, one of which being if you run out of cards, like if you have to draw cards and you can't. And if you draw a card and then you can't play an action, that will also make you lose the game. But it's just a really fast, it says about 10 to 15 minute playtime. Like I said, it's 1 to 2 players, but this is coming to Kickstarter, I believe tomorrow. And he has a level where you can get both of these. So I would encourage you to go ahead and do that. I will be doing a live playthrough of both of these, and I'll also be doing a review of both of them while that campaign is going on. So be on the lookout for those. But these are a couple of games that I knew he had because he's come to one of our gaming nights before over at Steamers West. But because I was hosting there, I wasn't really able to take time to sit down and talk with them. I was able to do that at CamasCon. So that was a really fun time. So it was cool to see Jack and meet Jack again, and then get to play both of the games that he has. But go check this one out tomorrow. You might enjoy that. So that was New Kingdom Gardeners and New Kingdom Sowers. Bob Rock is here. I've seen this game around. Vanessa says, I think you might like it, Vanessa, because Jesse really enjoyed it. And you guys have very similar tastes in games. So yes, howdy Bob Rock, good to see you. Thank you for being here, appreciate that. Hop says, I worked at Dunkin' Donuts in high school. They told me I would get sick of donuts working there. It never happened. Orange shall ever come. No, not quite. I don't think it's Donald Trump's favorite game. It has nothing to do with Donald Trump at all. But that is that as far as that's concerned. And then also played a game of After Us, and I saw this being played once or twice as well. This continues to be a great game. This is very, very quickly turning into an evergreen. For me, because every single time it hits the table, it just, people enjoy it. It's just a great game. So people have had some disparaging comments about it. It's not really a deck builder. You're not really, because the stuff that you get doesn't really, I respectfully disagree. I think this is a great entry-level deck building game that works really well and has people excited about playing it every single time I've seen it hit the table. So this is just a really great game. So if you haven't tried this one out, After Us is something you should definitely give a whirl to. I am going to drop that right there and put that there. My nose is really itching and I don't know why, so I apologize. I'm not being nasty or anything like that. My nose just really itches right now. Let's see here. The first game of the con, I believe, was a game of Xylotar. This is one that's coming out later on this year from Bezier Games. And it is a trick-taking game. I can't remember. It's a re-implementation of another game, and I can't remember what the name of that other game is. But the backstory, the theme of this game is super funny. Basically, in a nutshell, there's this polar bear that loves rocking out to 80s music, 80s pop rock, and he loves guitars. and he wanted to play his own guitar, but his paws are just too big for guitars. So he had somebody make him a xylotar, a xylophone and a guitar mixed, because the keys are bigger for his paws. But right after the xylotar was made for him, the maker vanished, and the polar bear was the person, or rather the individual. Maybe I can't say person, but the polar bear was the individual that was implicated in the other in the instrument maker's demise, if we can put it that way, because he's a polar bear, right? Of course, the polar bear ate the guy. So the polar bear goes into hiding because he doesn't want to have to go to jail. And so we have found the schematics for this xylotar, and we are trying to construct our own xylotars. And it's a pretty neat trick-taking game. Has some wonky stuff in it, but it's still fun, and people have enjoyed it. So we're going to play this a few more times, give it a review as well. But that is Xylotar. That was the first one we played. And of course, this is becoming a Blood Rage-esque experience. I don't think I've gone to, I went to Dice Tower West, and I probably taught I think about 4 games of NAR over that weekend, and I definitely taught it once over this weekend, and people really enjoy this game. They really enjoy this game. This is a great little game. It's being put out by Pandasaurus here. Pandasaurus version has icons on all of their plater pieces, and this one doesn't. And that's the only thing I'm really kind of jealous about with the Pandasaurus. But I got mine before Pandasaurus copies were able to go out in the States, so I'm okay with having this copy. It works really well, and people really enjoy it. So if you haven't tried NAR out, Knarr, you really should. It's a great, great game. Jesse was very happy to get a game of Illiterati in. I think this was the second to last game we played over the weekend, and this was the last game we played. We played this on Sunday right before we left, and this is a really cool word game where you're trying to bind books and keep the illiterati from burning them. And the illiterati is a group of villains that are trying to rid the world of literature. And of course, you're trying to stop them from doing that. And we actually won. I think, pretty sure we did everything right, but we won, and we had a great time doing it. I did a review of this earlier on in the channel's history, so you can go back and look at that just to get my thoughts on it. But great game from Gap Closer Games. So go check that one out if you have the chance. Other games that we played. We played Sushi Boat. That was an experience because the component quality of Sushi Boat is off the freaking charts. We really had a good time playing that game. We also played Namiji, which is set in the Tokaido universe, and that was very fun. We had a great time playing that one. I think I came in 3rd place with that one. Not really having any idea what I was doing, but I still enjoyed it. It's a very beautiful game, and so that was really cool. Marvel Dice Throne was being played almost constantly. Almost constantly. The teenagers were having a blast playing Marvel Dice Throne. So that's something else. Another game that got played almost religiously was Foundations of Rome. I know Jess played a game of that. I was in a game. I was playing Last Light when they were doing Foundations of Rome. And so Jess played a game of it, and then she wanted to teach Dante how to play. But people kept picking it up and playing it like one right after the other. It got played off the chains over the weekend. Such a great game, such a high component quality. It was really an amazing production. Arcane Wonders knocked that one out of the park. So that is that. Let's see here. Just finished a 5-player game of Lords of Waterdeep with expansions after a long time. Yeah, you don't need to play it again. Ooh. Well, that's weird. JT and I were just talking about how we need to get Lords of Waterdeep back to the table. That's funny. Probably I remember the Kickstarter campaign and it seemed like something I'd enjoy. Yeah, cool. How come Gardeners wasn't on your nature games list? JT would have loved it being on there. That's right, he probably would have. Well, real simply, I hadn't played it yet. But I actually told him, I told Jack that it probably would have made my list if I had played it before. That's how much I think I enjoyed it. But I do need to play it more. I've only played it once. I do need to play it more. But my first impression was this could have made my list had I played it before. I was told when your nose itches, someone will visit you soon. Well, then I'm about to get a whole slew of people at the house because my nose is still itching. Who doesn't like 80s music? Bushman. Eric doesn't like it. Well, you're wrong, Bushman. That's just the long and the short of it. It's a trick taker. My friend made me play it because he's obsessed with trick takers. I don't like them. Well, that's fine. Trick-taking games are a certain subset of games that a lot of people don't like. Some people really like them. They're pretty divisive. You describe Xylotar so interestingly. Well, I kid you not. Let me just read. This might be a little bit not good, but I mean, it is just a deck of cards. That's all it is. But here goes. On July 6th, 1985, a young Bobby McColdsnap attended a concert in Calgary, Alberta, where he rocked out to Howard Jones's Things Can Only Get Better with 5,000 other fans. That night changed his life, and Bobby went back to his home in Churchill, Manitoba, with a new mission. He wanted to be a guitarist. The problem: Bobby was a polar bear, and the keys and knobs on the guitar of the 1980s were just too small for his paws. He enlisted the help of a local craftsman, Kiefer Bassett, to create an alternative that he could operate. This new musical device would be based on both xylophone and synthesizer technology. Bobby eagerly began writing music that could be played on this device in anticipation of the delivery of his new Xylotar. The tragedy: just after Kiefer delivered the prototype Xylotar to Bobby, Kiefer disappeared. Bobby was questioned by the authorities because, well, Bobby was a polar bear. Concerned that the Canadian justice system wouldn't treat him fairly, Bobby took his Xylotar and ran off into the wilderness. Near the Arctic Circle, when the aurora borealis is brightest, you may hear classic 80 tunes echoing through the night. Your mission: you found the Xylotar schematics. Without knowing exactly how it should work, play until you discover the sweetest sounds. The player who scores the most points has found the perfect balance of 80s synthesizer rock and modern karimba-style melodies. Only then can you mass-produce the Xylotar, succeeding in your goal of achieving moderate commercial success. Oh, man. I actually read that every single time I teach a game. Just so that people can understand, look, it's just a trick-taking game. It's just a goofy little thing, but at least the theme makes it a little bit more fun. I'm telling you, people, theme matters. Let's see here. Keep hearing awesome things about NAR. Would try it if I happen upon it. You should. Let's see here. I enjoy some trick takers, but they're kind of few and far between for me. Yoraku is one of them, or Joraku is one of them. I love to try Brian Boru at some point. Okay. Anyone in the chat played Dice Miner? I'm tempted by it. It looks really fun. Dice Miner. I haven't played that one. People love all that plastic. That's true. Bob Rock, Sam, have you ever played this War of Mine? I haven't. And I haven't played Frostpunk either. But while we were playing Dutch Resistance, people were saying that they were getting some of that This War of Mine vibe from it, where you had to make really excruciating decisions sometimes. I heard on the Dice Tower something about Comic Hunters coming to the U.S. Do you know anything about it? Tom is right. Arcane Wonders is part of the process of bringing it over. They aren't bringing it over specifically them, but they are involved in the bringing of it to the United States. So yes, as a comic geek myself, really would like to put my hands on a copy. Well, that is pretty much, I did get to play it, did I play it twice? Once or twice at Dice Tower West, and it is a really fun game. It is a really fun game, and there's a lot going on in it as far as, you know, if it would have come over here without a Marvel license or without any kind of license like that, it just wouldn't, I don't think it would be the same. But with that Marvel license coming over, I think it's going to be a huge hit. It's going to be a huge hit. Comic Hunters deserves a Kickstarter for a deluxe edition. That might be pretty cool. I had no idea this little game had an actual story attached to it. Yeah, it does. Kabuki Kid is here. Hello, Kabuki. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Last game that I recall playing over the weekend, well, poop, is one that came in while we were away. JT came over Sunday to record our top 10 games from 2013 that's going to be coming out on Friday. And I broke this open and taught him how to play this. Doug and Emily taught us how to play this a week prior to Saturday. So not last Saturday, but a week before that. And I think I went online and purchased it a few hours later. That's how much I enjoyed that playthrough of it. And so it came in, and it is a great little game. Really fun, and really enjoyed it. Spin Master is involved because of the Marvel license. That is correct. I was saving you a seat, gave it away. Sorry. Let's see here. Let me be right back. I need to do this, and I apologize, but I will be right back. All right, folks. I apologize. I'll make it as quick as I can. right. Well, here we go. Sorry about that. Well. Now we can talk about Sam while he's gone. He won't know. Yeah, he will. Go on down to the lobby. Go on down. Let's go on to the lobby. Let's get ourselves some treats. Let's get out to the lobby. Let's go out to the lobby. Nuno is from Portugal. So much mentioning of food right before dinner. The torment is real. Jack Dunbar is, oh wow, isn't that special? He's just got through talking about Jack, and he just texted me. So that's pretty cool. That's it. Yep, we're live. Yep, says intermission is over. I feel like I'm at the opera waiting for the lights to flash. Should I have done that? I could have done that. That would have been funny. But no, we won't do that. Let's see. What else? What else? Oh, we were talking about trekking through history. So if you haven't tried this game out, I'm going to show you a little bit of an unboxing because we're telling our age, Sam, that tomb. Yes, I know. So here we go. We're gonna do a little bit of an unboxing with this because, frankly, well, did that backwards. This is a great game, and I was enamored with this game on the very first time that I played it. And wow, that's weird, Kabuki. That is the last time I actually went to a movie where the movie had an intermission. Was Gandhi. That is exactly correct with me. So anyway, this is a game where first of all, I gotta show this. First of all, the component quality off the charts, off the freaking charts. It comes with a mat. Now this is the Kickstarter version, so that has a solo mode in it, and then it also has a really nice player mat. We'll go ahead and put this down here as well, so you can just see it. But not as good as some play mats that I've had because it does kind of curl up on the end over here. But really nice play mat. You track all of your points up here. Cards are going to be here, over here, and then you have an ancestor deck right here, and then this just tells you how many points your Trek scores at the end of the game. It also has these things right here. First of all, the tray is really nice, but these components are just plastic, but they are super chunky, and they are very nice. I like them a lot. And they're basically just different kinds of tokens that you'll get throughout the course of the game. I might be behind the 8 ball here a little bit, and you might already know about this game. But if not, you guys need to go check out this game. It's really fun. Really enjoy it. But all of these are really nice, chunky plastic pieces, and just really cool. These are time gems, so you can use them to kind of reduce the amount of time that you spend when you have to take cards. And then these are just wilds that can be placed anywhere on your itineraries. And to talk about the itineraries, so basically you're going to be getting 4 of these during the course of the game. And they're just different ways that you have to place these tokens on these cards in order to score different points. When you get one of each type of these tokens on this line, you score 8 points. Then you might be able to score points or get other kinds of rewards in amongst that. But then when you get down to the next line, you have to have this and this in order to score those 10 points. But before you do that, you have to fill in all of this other stuff. But you don't have to necessarily fill these in. In other words, to get all these in, you basically just have to get 3 yellows. You have to go 1, 2, and 3. You have to go from top to bottom. So in order to get these two down here, you have to get all of these in first. And then in order to get these 3 points, you have to get those first, and so forth. So this kind of gives you an idea of what cards you're going to want to go for during the course of the game, because as you're going through, you have like, for example, this is age 1, and then you have an age 2 deck, and you have an age 3 deck as well. And the years that each deck covers are shown on this placard right here. So day 1 deck, or age 1 deck, goes from 37,000 BC all the way to 1903. That's the cards that it has in its deck. The cards in this deck start at 3500 BC and they go all the way to 1985. And then the cards in this deck start at 70 BC and they go all the way to 1994. But the cool thing about that is that at any point you can look at the cards that are up here and see where they fall to let you know how many more cards are in that deck before you have to wait for the next one. So basically, the game will start like this, where you have cards out here, and on your turn, you basically have to decide which one of these cards you're going to use. And everybody has a marker on the board here, and it starts right here, and it goes this way around, and that's 1 day. Once everybody has gotten back up here, you take the day 1 deck away, you put out the day 2 deck, and you continue playing. But let's say that somebody takes 1472 BC. That takes 2 times, so they would move 1, 2 on this, and then they would be able to get, if it was in this position, they'd be able to get 1 red disc and 1 time gem, and then this would be the beginning of their trek. So you would continue doing that, then all of these cards would scoot down, and another one comes up. So there's 6 cards that are always available, because you can always take the top one over here as well. And I just think it's a really cool game. The number of cards that are in your trek, that's when you start building your trek with these cards, that's how many points at the end of the game that trek is going to get you. If at any time you can't take a card that is actually later than the one that's on top of your trek, you have to conclude your trek, flip it over, and now it's kind of locked in how many points it's going to score for you, and then you have to start another trek. But just a really fun game, super high component quality, and they just did a really good job with this. I'm trying to fix everything that I have messed up here in the world, but there we go, we fixed it. Has a really great insert as well. I'll go ahead and show that to you as well. I kind of already did, but the playmat goes right here. Each of the decks has its own, these are ancestor cards, so you do have the opportunity to go visit your ancestors, and it basically acts just like a wild, so that if these 2 were in your trek, 332 is carried over to this card as well. So you can still go from 332, but there's only a certain number of these that are allowed in the game throughout the course. So, but it's just a really neat game. Great components, great insert, great production quality, linen finish on all of the cards, good sturdy card stock, and of course the playmat is good as well. I think this is the Kickstarter edition, so do take that into under advisement as you are aware that it could be different in a retail version of the game. But as you can see, everything just gets packed real neatly into this box. This rolls up, and I might have to start rolling it up a different way because it is doing the super curly thingy. But that just goes right there like that. This goes on top right here. Bing, bada boom, and then the box cover. That is Trekking Through History. Super enamored with this game right now. I'll be doing a review of it in the very near future, so keep an eye open for that as well. But that is that. That was my last game played this weekend. Nice quality. Own this game, just haven't played it in a while. Yeah. Nice tokens also. Couldn't they do a puzzle piece playmat so it doesn't curl and it would fit in the box? Yeah, probably. But modern times, Eric. 1985, good movie year. Speaking of movies, then again, so was 1994. The dude in 347 BC doing show puppet rules, shadow puppet rules. Not sure how he knows about llamas though. Depends on where he lives. That's true as well. Well, that's pretty much it as far as the weekend is concerned. Another really cool thing that Daryl did for me, and I don't want to do anything strange here, but this was just a really cool thing that I wasn't expecting for him to do. I told Daryl I didn't want to get paid, and so what he did instead of paying me was he gave me a Kickstarter copy, still in shrink, of Mythic Battles Pantheon for speaking at CamasCon this weekend. And so that was a really cool thing that Daryl did, and I wanted to thank him publicly for that because he didn't have to do that. You know, I know that it takes a lot of money to run a place like that, and I didn't want him to pay anything because it was I mean, they were hosting us, and you know, it was family. Our family of 5 was up there, so you know, we ate our fair share of the food. So I didn't want him to pay anything else, but he just didn't want to not give me anything, so he gave me a fairly generous gift there, and I appreciate him for it. So I wanted to put that out there. So thank you. Let's see here. Neoprene is also nice for when you want to pick up cards a lot. Yes, found that out the hard way. Picking up cards with Last Light without it being on a board, man, without it being on a playmat is really hard because it was that kind of that faux wood laminate tables, and it was like, I can't pick it up. I'm so used to playing on a playmat. Absolutely correct. Let's see. I believe Kickstarter version has the solo mode. Retail doesn't. Everything else is the same. Well, that's cool. That's also actually cool. It's odd that solo is Kickstarter only. Strange. That boat has sailed. I don't know what that means. But I just lost my train of thought. Oh, Kickstarter only version. Yeah. Well, I'm actually glad then that I got the solo mode because that's something I'd probably want to do on the channel. I don't really need to so much, but I would be interested in trying it out on one of those Thursdays that I do solo playthroughs. Just because I know I enjoy the game, I'm wondering now if I'll enjoy the solo mode. So you doing something strange? No, I'm not doing anything strange. Well, maybe I am. I probably am. I don't know. Talking to a camera. Well, I'm not talking to a camera. I'm talking to you guys. That might be considered strange by some. You mentioned you didn't want to be strange. Well, yeah, that's true. Not wanting to be strange. That boat has definitely sailed. I am not eccentric. Yeah. People are strange when you're a stranger. Yep. That's a good one. What movie is that connected to? When you're strange, people come out of the rain. When you're strange. That's probably not even the right lyrics, but that's okay. Beat me to it, Kabuki. Yep, that's true. So what movie is it connected to? You got to answer this question, and don't Google it. You should know this. No, not the Doors movie. Come on. Of course it's connected to the Doors movie. Have you played Cupcake Empire? No, I haven't. Hey, Strider. Strider has been super lethargic. He spent all weekend at the kennel, and he came back beat. He's been sleeping almost constantly. I think they had him running around playing with all the other puppers. Yes. Yes, I know. First one you can think of is the Doors movie. No, it's not that one. It's a movie called Lost Boys. Kilmer was freaky how well he emulated Morrison, even his voice. Yeah, Val Kilmer is a great actor. Had so many different kinds of roles. I think he got stereotyped into doing, the more macho-ish roles. But especially after Top Gun. But he had a lot of really good movies. Really enjoyed Val Kilmer as an actor. But yeah. No, it was in The Lost Boys. People Are Strange. But anyway, that's about it for my CamasCon report. Had a great time. Met a lot of really cool people, and we're very interested in making that a more common occurrence as the years go on. But that is that. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing as per usual. It belongs to the museum. And then we're also going to be doing Time Honored Tuesdays tomorrow afternoon. Me and Jess will play a game that is not new. And we will be doing that very soon. Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday morning, we already talked about JT's Kickstarter fulfillment update for April 2024 is going to be Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. And then Wednesday afternoon, I'll do a live review. And I don't know what one I'm going to review because I usually go into each week with a couple of different ideas on what I can review this week. And I use one of those ideas for the Dice Tower, and I use one of them for the live review here on the Flipside. And I haven't made that determination yet. It'll probably be made tonight because I'm going to record the one for Dice Tower tomorrow. So there will be a live review on Wednesday. That's the main thing. We are going to be playing, I believe, Earth on Friday for a live playthrough. JT and I will play Earth. I believe that's what's happening. I could be, let me see. Yeah, pretty sure because I think today is Earth Day, right? So we wanted to do that in honor of that. That's why we put our nature-themed games up this past weekend. So we'll be doing that on Friday. Thursday, solo. I don't know what I'm going to play. It might be Trekking Through History, the solo mode, but it might be something else as well because I do have a number of different games right now that I could be playing solo, and they're ones that I need to get played anyway. Earth, yay! I love Earth. 80s stuff is great. I wish I was around for more of it. I'm pretty sure you can watch The Lost Boys on any of the streaming services. Well, I don't know exactly which one it is, but I know you can find it. So it's got Kiefer Sutherland in it, and Kiefer Sutherland is in it. I can't remember the other guy's name. Yeah, but it's a vampire movie. It's a cool vampire movie. TI4 solo. Boy. Oh, the Coreys. Yeah. I remember them. Haim and Feldman, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman. Yes, those are both. Those guys are both in it as well. Corey Feldman plays one of the non-vampire guys, but he fashions himself a little bit of a vampire hunter, but he's like a teenager, so it's pretty funny. Yeah. Good little fun little movie though. Classic. I have not seen yet. Let's see. Echo and the Bunnymen did the version that is in the Lost Boys. Looked it up. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. The guy from Speed 2. Yeah. Let's see here. That's pretty much it for the week, though. We'll be doing our Q&A. I don't know about our Q&A on Saturday. I think there might be something going on that I don't know if we're going to be here or not. I think we might have to leave early that morning to go to something. I think Dante has a state performance for band. But we'll see. Karen is here. Hello, Karen. Hello! Let's see. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I really do. I'll be having a review of a new Escape Mail game that's coming out. It's going to Kickstarter here in a little bit, called the Shackleton series. I've got episode 1 sent to me, and we're going to get that played and get it reviewed for that campaign. It's going to be a review, not a preview, so do keep that in mind. So that's coming up pretty soon. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think I have much else. I think I covered everything. I know I probably forgot a couple games that I played over the weekend, because some of them did kind of bleed together. It's just kind of like a whirlwind, you know? You get done with one game and somebody asks you to come play another, and you don't really get time to really talk about the game and kind of solidify those things in your memory. That's how my brain works, at least. If I don't take some time to mull it over, I just totally forget it. And it's nothing against the people or the games or anything like that. It's just that's how my brain works. Yep, let's see. That's too much. 2 weeks. Get the board, the calendar. I could be dead by Saturday. No, come on. No live chat. Well, I don't know that there's not going to be a live Q&A. If we cannot do it in the morning, I'll toy with doing it in the evening, because I don't want to not do it. That's one of the times in the week that I really look forward to doing that live Q&A with Jess. So the only way we will not have it is if that we just cannot work it into our schedule somehow. But I really enjoy that, and I know Jess really enjoys that, so I don't want to take it away from her, and I don't want to not do it. But the only way that we'll have to knock it out is if we just can't work our Saturday schedule around it, because I know that I'm pretty sure Dante's got that thing happening, and then I know Aiden also has a football game that afternoon. So it just depends on when we can get back to the house and be done with it. Have you heard of the game Stock Exchange? You know what? You saying that actually jogged my memory a little bit, because I think I may have played that game. Let me look at it. Hold on. Stock Exchange. Well, it's not any of those. Yeah. No, I haven't heard of the game called Stock Exchange. I played one this weekend, though, that... no, that's not it. Man, it's a little bidding game where each player takes on the role of a, I guess you would call it a superpower, and maybe not, but one person is England, another person is China, another person is Japan, another person is the EU. EU, China, Japan, Great Britain, and the US. We played a 5-player game of it, and so basically you have these different commodities, well, not commodities, but you have these different things that are set up, and you have to write out how much money you're going to bid for that certain thing that's worth a certain number of points, and it could get you more points if you collect enough of it, so there's a collection into it. I can't remember the name of it now. But it's very much a stock exchange-esque kind of game, but I can't remember the name of it. And people are... Stalk Exchange? Thought it was Stalk. No. Dinner is finally ready. Have a good time, Vanessa. Enjoy it. I know of Stockpile. Diner is ready. Catch you all later. Yep. I thought it was Stalk Exchange. One couple played it today on BGG. Oh, let's go look at that then. Let's see. A couple played it on BGG. Let's see where we are here. Videos. Featured videos. I don't see it. Geek lists, all charged up, blogs, game forums. New releases, creator spotlight. No, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it on the Geek, at least. But it's not on the hotness either. Oh, one of the games that Jess did play was a game called Harmonies, and that was over the weekend, and she really enjoyed it. And it's one of the games that people have been recommending to JT and I after watching our nature-themed games list. So that's going to be one that I want to get to the table. But again, we have to get a hold of it somehow, but we'll see. But Jess really enjoyed it, so that's a cool thing. I'm not seeing that stock exchange game that you're referencing, though, Karen. I apologize. So, can't see it. I apologize for that. Let's see here. This game uses flowers. QE, Zexto, thank you. Yes, that is it. QE. That is exactly what. And we played with the commodities expansion that just came out. So QE, yep, that's it. That's the one. I totally am not good at that game. But it was fun just because of the social experiment or the social experience that game is of trying to figure out how much people are going to bid and trying to be the one that scores the least amount of points, or at least trying to be the one that doesn't spend the most. You definitely don't need necessarily to spend the least, but you don't want to spend the most money because then you are automatically the loser. You don't even have a chance. It turns out, though, that I scored the most points throughout the course of the game. I would have won if I just hadn't spent the most money. And that was a really cool thing. But I spent most of the game just trying to figure out what was going to be too much and what was going to be not enough and all of that kind of stuff. The commodities expansion pulls into it. There were differing opinions on whether or not they liked the commodity expansion amongst the players who had played the game before without it. And so I thought it was interesting because it basically gave a consolation prize to the person who did not, basically the one who came in second place for each of the bids got to get a commodity. And those commodities would take away from how much money you spent at the end of the game, so that all that kind of stuff. So it was definitely an interesting game. That was another one that I played over the weekend, and I thought that was a cool one. But again, I don't think it's going to be one that I will enjoy playing. But you know, unless it's in that kind of situation again, it's not one that I'm just going to bring out to play anywhere. You know, here with the family. But QE, yes, that is exactly what it is. Thank you, Zexto, for bringing that back to mind. Stalk Exchange. Yep, okay, got it. No, I've never played that one. I'll look it up, though. Stalk Exchange. Use your stalk portfolio. Manage your stalk portfolio and grow your flowers and profits. That's pretty cool. That looks interesting. Teach and play through 9 hours ago. Yeah. That looks interesting. That looks like a funny play on words. Oh, I like the shields. I like the player shields in that. Like a little gardening lean-to almost. Looks like wooden discs with flowers printed on them. So I like the component quality. I like the way the board, the game looks. I don't know if I'll like it though, but from the op. Okay, cool. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. That looks like cool. Quantitative easing was AFK, or I would have written that sooner. Have a nice rest of the day, everybody. See you later. Marcel, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Waves at everyone from work. Oh, it's on before you play. All right, cool. Thank you. What, Strider? You getting bored too, buddy? Everybody's getting bored and they're leaving. Well, I have been here for an hour almost. You're welcome. Thank you, Marcel. All right, I don't think I have anything else that I need to talk about, because we talked about CamasCon. We talked about what's coming up here on the channel here this week, so that will be pretty interesting. Well, I mean that's already been laid out. That's already ready to go. And I do have some stuff I got to get to. I got to finish writing a script for a preview video and get it to the publishers so that they can sign off on it, and so I can shoot it tomorrow. And I need to mow the lawn. So there's a lot that's going on here. Thank you guys and gals for joining me. I certainly appreciate it. Hopefully you saw something today that'll further enrich your hobby experience in some way, shape, or form, whether it was a game you're going to go check out, or maybe a game that you haven't played in a long time that you want to go play again because of us talking about it here. Whatever it might be, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll see you on the flip side tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact, 10 o'clock. is when we will have It Belongs in a Museum. Have a great day, y'all. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.